a video on poaching some nectarines. So I was on the market yesterday, and it was the end of the day, and I kind of half know one of the market stall traders, and he had a bit of fruit and veg left over, and it was a case of he wanted to sell me some stuff because he was either going to sell it to me or throw it away. So I ended up getting some 3 punts of grapes and some nectarines for £1, which is kind of like a ridiculous price. However, they're not that nice. I'd never tell him to his face. Well, and he probably knows actually, because he just sells like cheap fruit and veg, and they're a little bit bruised. By the time that's ripe, that's going to be bad. So I'm going to poach them, and then we can have them with some homemade yogurt and that type of thing, and they'll keep in the fridge. Although I'm seeing my sister tomorrow, so I might actually give them to my sister instead. So we're going to see. Relatively easy. All you need to do is make a stock syrup, which is equal quantities of sugar and water. So there's 200 grams of sugar in there. It's just plain old granulated sugar that you put in your tea or your coffee, and then it's 200 grams worth of water. And all we need to do to the nectarines, or any kind of fruit like this, so this works with apricots or plums or peaches or anything like that, we just need to see how unripe they are. Get the stone out carefully. I've already melted the sugar into the water, so we just need to put them in. We might need to add a little bit more, so we just need to go that carefully, and then we're going to, actually we might do it the other way around next time. So give them a twist, and that pops the stone out. The stones are actually wood, so what you can do is, if you've got a fire, an open fire, you can actually burn the stones on the fire, out of interest. And some of the so some of the power stations near me, what they used to do was they used to get the pits from olives, and they used to burn those as a renewable source of energy. That's a mindless bit of information for you, but there we go. So we turn the temperature up a little bit, because it's not going to take long to do these. So that in there, don't want that bit. I have washed them, so they're nice and clean, and it's just a simple case of bring them up to temperature, bring them up to boil, and then a slow simmer until they're nice and tender, just like you would do with any other fruit, so apples, pears, all that type of thing. And it'll just, they're not going to go bad, because we're going to cook them, and it'll also, they don't have to actually be ripened. So instead of just, if I'm honest, I didn't really want them. If it had just been 3 punts of grapes for £1, I would have been happy. But you don't, if someone offers you something for free, you say thank you very much and take it from them, and be very polite, and then do what you want with it when they're not there, just out of a matter of courtesy. And also, if someone gives you something for free once, they're going to give you something for free again, and if you say no to something for free, they're not going to offer you again, and the next time they offer you something, it might be something amazing. So, but anyway, I also take in things as well that I've been making, like loaves of bread and all that kind of stuff. So it's one of those things. So you kind of want to get away with as little syrup as possible. So that's just about right, is that. They will cook down slightly, so, and they'll release some of their juices into the cooking liquid, so there will be enough liquid there. So up to the boil, and then down to a really slow simmer, gently poaching them. If we're going to boil them, it's going to boil the fruit apart, which is not what we want to do. We want to slow cook, just like I did rhubarb a few months back. Can't remember when it was, but yeah, I made a rhubarb compote. So we're doing exactly the same thing as that, even though that method was in the oven with just sugar, and it created its own kind of juice. This is more, we kind of actually want to poach them in this. It's just a slightly different way of doing the same kind of process. But anyway, so that's coming up to boil. So then we'll put it on the back and a slow simmer until they're cooked, and then you'll see what they're like, and then into a nice clean container, and then they'll keep in the fridge for at least a week. Actually, I decided I'm going to put a lid on the nectarines. I think they're going to take forever to cook that way. I'm normally in two minds about putting lids on things, but I think a lid will be fine on that. But we'll just do kind of like that. It'll trap a bit of steam. It'll just make it heat up just that little bit easier and cook them a little bit quicker. But anyway, you can do, you don't have to, that type of thing. but it's just today I'm going to do this. It's not as if we're poaching pears and we need to kind of preserve the whiteness of the pears. They are that colour and they are going to stay that colour. So a lid generally dictates what's going to happen to the colour of the fruit or vegetable. So like if it's a green vegetable, you always want to cook things with the lid off. Oh, I'm burning the pan because I'm cooking pancakes. But anyway, so that's that. We're back when they're cooked. Right, so they are now nice and tender. So, oh, and the bread's ready as well, all at the same time. So they're nice and tender. They're just, as you can see there, where the syrup boiled, it wanted to boil them to bits, but that's all right. They will keep together, and as they cool, they will firm back up, so they won't want to fall to bits. So what we just need to do now is just to leave them to cool in the syrup, and then we'll put them in a jar, a nice clean jar. Because they're almost wanting to fall to bits, it's going to be dangerous. Well, not dangerous, it's not going to harm me, but it might harm them. That if we start to move them when they're hot, they'll want to, it's not quite ready, they're going to want to fall to bits if we pour them into something else. So I'm going to let them cool in the pan. In fact, I might actually leave them in the pan and then fish them out of the pan, because it's a stainless steel pan, so it's not going to oxidise or anything like that. It's not like using an aluminium pan or anything like that. So I might just actually leave them in the pan and store them in the fridge in the pan. So it's nice and sterile, is that pan, so it'll certainly keep for a week in the fridge like that. But there we go. Lovely, delicious. Certainly going to have those on a bit of yogurt later on for a snack. But yeah, so if you get some fruit and it looks like it's going to go bad before it ripens, that's what you can do. Or if you've got a tree in the garden as a way of preserving your apricots or your plums or your pears or your nectarines or anything like that, there you go. Can't remember what I call them. Are they nectarines? I'm not entirely sure. I think they're nectarines. I think they're nectarines. They're certainly not apricots. But anyway, there we go. Easy peasy. Right, so the apricots, no, not apricots, the nectarines, I put them in jars and they've been in the fridge overnight, so we'll set up and hopefully the jars will have sealed. Oh, there we go. So they're a little bit soft, but that's fine. And I did taste the juice yesterday, and it was delicious with the juice. So just over some nice yogurt, a couple of those, were absolutely delicious. And I think, so I tasted the juice yesterday, and it's taken on the flavour of the nectarines, and it's really nice. And I think once I have eaten the nectarines, I think I'll save the syrup and I might use it in a cocktail. I might see what it's like in an old fashioned. Using a cheap whiskey, I think that'd be really quite nice. Yeah, it's really nice, really, really nice. Anyway, so you've got an abundance of some kind of fruits like nectarines. That's a really good way of preserving them. Just be careful when you're preserving them. They need to be cooled somewhere, stored somewhere cool. I wouldn't particularly thought like a kitchen cupboard would be cool enough. It kind of needs to be in an outhouse or a cellar, or like a dry cellar, or even in the fridge. So I'm not kind of sure what kind of shelf life it'd have, but certainly a thing to do if you've got an abundance of them. At a tree in the garden, or you're on the market and they're selling a load off, or you would just want to have a go at preserving a bit of fruit and making them a little bit more interesting. If they're a bit hard and you don't want to have to you worry about them ripening and going bad by the time they ripen. But anyway, what is it? It's compote of fruit, compotted fruit ish, kind of. But there you go.